Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Rockford is a place you want to invest in. The people of Rockford are hardworking people who deserve a great future.
Promises are made and funding dispersed to help the region thrive. We'll recap Governor J.B. Pritzker's day in the state line.
Domestic violence is ruled a public health crisis in Illinois. A Rockford man knows it all too well. He says his experiences are proof more needs to be done to protect younger generations.
And all eyes are on Kenosha, Wisconsin, as the nation waits for a verdict in a murder trial that could set a new precedent. Jurors debate the fate of Kyle Rittenhouse. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Illinois hopes to attract more electric vehicle makers to the state. Governor J.B. Pritzker was in Belvedere to sign a bill that includes tax credits and exemptions for manufacturers and projects.
Nicole Delgado joins us with more on the governor's plan to have 1 million electric vehicles on the roadways by 2030.
Eric, Mimi, this bill was not created only to help the environment, but to have fewer gas cars on the road, but to grow and keep the state with manufacturing here locally. An investment in the future. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Reimagining Electric Vehicle Act into law Tuesday. This provides tax credits to companies making electric cars or parts like batteries. It's an effort to lure new companies and keep existing manufacturers in state.
With this bill, we intend to attract more EV manufacturers, charging station manufacturers, and automotive parts manufacturers more than ever before. And it will help Illinois become one of the leading EV hubs in the entire nation.
State Representative Dave Vella sponsored the bill and says he's confident this will help grow the region.
We're making sure that they're investing in our communities and in our workers, and then we give them the incentive. That way, they are part of the solution with us.
Illinois is already making headway on electric cars. In September, Rivian produced the first ever battery electric truck at the former Mitsubishi plant in Normal. Eric?
Thanks, Nicole. The governor's next stop on his state line tour was the Rockford International Airport. He says Illinois is committed to training more aviation mechanics. That will be accomplished through $2.6 million for workforce development. RFD is currently the fastest growing cargo airport in the world. We told you about the airport's multi-million-dollar expansion before. Pritzker says when the project is complete, qualified workers will be in high demand.
Already, AAR has done a phenomenal job recruiting diverse candidates from across the region and the state for its apprenticeship pathways, ensuring a strong talent pipeline for the jobs of tomorrow.
AAR is an aviation maintenance company with a major presence at the Rockford Airport. The money will help the business create 50 new paid apprenticeships.
The governor also visited a Rockford Community Center to talk about violence prevention programs. Pritzker declared gun violence a public health crisis earlier this month and vows to help the state's hardest hit communities.
Rachel Perry was there and spoke with a man directly impacted by crime in Rockford. Rachel, what did he tell you?
Mimi and Eric, he says this is personal to him and tells me he's lost a family member to gun violence in Rockford. But today he's both hopeful and eager to see what comes of this and tells me he supports the governor's mission.
Considering that I grew up around it, I seen it, I want to help stop it.
Kevin Puckett knows firsthand what violence in Rockford does to a family.
I have friends who lost children due to gun violence. I have a cousin that was crippled by gun violence. And I have an older cousin that passed because of gun violence.
Rockford is considered one of the state's most dangerous cities. Between January and October, violent crime was up 3% compared to the same time in 2020. That translates to about 60 more cases.
From the 90s, it was gun violence, but up to now, the millennium, it's very bad. It needs to be controlled.
Control that could come with the help from the state. The governor is pledging $250 million to focus on violence prevention, specifically keeping kids out of crime, as well as developing after-school programs and making sure there's trauma recovery services for the youth.
And how would you like to see this money used?
The right way. That's all I can say. I'm not a politician. I can only say that it needs to be used in the right areas and the right way.
Puckett is hopeful with both the community and government support, change will come.
I think with the community's help and with the parents' help and with the older generation that's seen it and seen how worse it has gotten, help, I think we can make it happen. I think we can see a change.
I talked to the mayor and a community center leader on how this funding will be used to benefit Rockford kids. Hear their responses coming up at 6. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Rachel. Several people are without a place to live tonight after a fire tears through their house. It happened just before 12:30 this morning on Underwood Street in Rockford. Fire crews arrived to find smoke and flames showing. The occupants were already outside. Crews rescued 2 dogs. The house is a total loss with more than $80,000 in damage. Investigators are looking into what sparked the flames. As Beloit Police prepare to lay one of their own to rest, we're learning more about the officer. Dan Daly passed away from COVID complications yesterday. Last night, the officer's body was transported from UW Swedish American Hospital back to the city he served for decades. We have a bird's eye view of the procession that led the way. A sergeant with the department says Daly, nicknamed Wolf, was always up for a talk or a laugh. Funeral arrangements are pending.
It's decision time. 5 men and 7 women consider Kyle Rittenhouse's fate. He shot and killed 2 people and hurt another during violent protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The group was randomly selected by the defendant himself. Jurors asked the court for extra copies of the self-defense portion of the jury instructions. If they have specific questions about the case, that has to be discussed in open court. 18-year-old Rittenhouse faces first-degree intentional homicide. If convicted, that charge could land him in prison for life.
If you buy self-defense, he's going to walk. And if you don't buy self-defense, he's probably going to be convicted on the most serious counts.
The jury can deliberate as late as 9 tonight, but will not be sequestered if they don't reach a verdict.
Holiday travel kicks off for some families this weekend, and if you are leaving town for Thanksgiving, expect less traffic. AAA says soaring gas prices will pump the brakes on more than half of Americans' travel plans. Gas Buddy agrees, estimating a national average price of $3.35 a gallon on Thanksgiving Day, the highest the nation has seen in over 7 years. However, about 4 million people plan to fly ahead of Turkey Day. That's an 80% increase over last year. People who turn to a local nonprofit for hot meals won't have to wait in line quite as long. Rockford Rescue Mission received more than $21,000 from General Mills. The grant will pay for a tilt skillet, which provides a safer and more efficient way to cook for large groups. Mission staff say the appliance will allow them to feed up to 150 people at once. That's welcome news because on an average day, the mission gives away 350 meals. Rockford's Christmas trees nestled in Davis Park. The blue spruce will serve as a main focal point during Stroll on State.
The tree was uprooted from its former home near Rock Valley College. It was donated by a local family with a passion for the holiday spirit that, as Michelle Rave shows us, spans generations.
What a better way to get into the holiday spirit than cutting down a Christmas tree. And this Christmas tree is getting cut at a home here in Rockford. And now it's here at Davis Park, its new home. The sounds of chainsaws Tuesday morning as the city of Rockford harvested the official Stroll on State Christmas tree from the Garino family's yard. And this particular tree is special for them.
We moved here in 1990, and the tree was birthed here on 1995.
Standing at 40 feet, this blue spruce tree was chosen from over 25 applicants.
It's the size, for one thing, how tall it is, and for where it's going to be at Davis Park. We wanted something that was super tall, and it's very full, and we just think it's going to look lovely when it's all decorated this weekend.
Every Christmas I would decorate that thing up with spiral lights going around it. And got taller and taller, and I had the extra ladder out, and a 12-foot ladder, and then extension poles. Finally got so high up there I just couldn't do it anymore.
The Garinos say they always feel the Christmas spirit in their household and are excited to share it with the community.
Mom and Dad, they both really enjoyed Christmas, and she decorated to the hilt on it, and always lights and everything. And we carry on that same tradition for Christmas too. And I thought this is about the time we really share it with the population.
Phil Garino wanted to honor his mother while at the same time create new traditions for their family.
We came here in the early 70s, and then in the 80s, his parents came. So now we've got 2 generations. We raised our kids here, which is the 3rd generation, and now we're sharing it all with the 4th. And so we're very thrilled to be able to do this.
For now, reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Well, good evening, everyone. We dealt with a warmer day today. We saw temperatures just a few degrees above normal for this time of year, and we're talking about even warmer conditions for tonight. Now, typically we experience our warmest conditions during the day, but an approaching warm front will help bump temperatures up as we head throughout the overnight. Now, when we take a look at the planning forecast, you can see that increase in temperatures from 6 p.m. toward midnight. We'll be in the low 50s at that point, with temperatures climbing even higher, and we'll keep the clouds out there, but eventually we'll see rain showers develop as well. Now, as we take a look at the Mercy F Skytrack weather camera, things are looking pretty quiet at the moment, but what you can't see, or you can barely see, the flag right here is blowing in the wind. We are dealing with some breezy conditions out there, and we're expecting the wind to be with us as we head throughout the night tonight, that wind helping to warm us up. Now, when we talk about what's happening over the last couple of hours, this is one of our weather watchers, Bob. He reported a temperature at 46 degrees, dew points at 37 degrees. So the air is not too dry, but we are noticing a chill in the air. And Ben in South Beloit, Illinois, he pointed out temperatures this afternoon were right around 46 degrees. So we were all in the mid and upper 40s, and that's generally where we sit right now. 46 degrees in Rockford, 45 in Freeport, 44 in Rochelle, 49 in Dixon. On a wider view, we see temperatures farther toward the south and west in the 60s, even 70s across parts of Oklahoma. Some of this warmth will push in our direction, and so that's why we are expecting temperatures to climb as we head throughout the night tonight. But eventually we cool off once again into the weekend. Now, when we look at the satellite radar, we see some clouds stretching across the middle of the country. This is associated with the next storm system that will be impacting us. First with warm air, then eventually rain and cool air. And it's all associated with a storm system that's centered right now across parts of Iowa, southern Minnesota as well, and the parent low pressure system in Canada. This energy, all of this energy will begin to push in our direction, but first we'll deal with the warm front pushing north, and that will allow temperatures to climb as we head throughout the night tonight. So take a look at the futurecast. It shows that by 3 a.m., as many of us are asleep, we'll notice temperatures in the upper 50s, even near 60 degrees. So you won't need the heat as much for tonight, but as we head throughout the morning, we are talking about temperatures falling as the cold front finally pushes through. You'll notice temperatures at lunchtime in the low 50s, and then eventually by 6 p.m. we'll be in the mid 40s. And then by the time we get to Thursday morning, we'll be down toward the upper 20s and low 30s. So while we are warming up, it will only be brief as colder air is on the way. Now let's talk about the rain that's associated with this storm system. We'll deal with scattered rain showers developing mainly after midnight, and that will continue into the early part of Wednesday. But then after that, as the cold front is pushing through, we're talking about drier air taking over and improving weather conditions, although cooling weather conditions from there. So here's a look at the rain totals between now and Wednesday lunchtime. Most areas picking up right under 1/5 of an inch of rain. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. It shows that, well, we'll have temperatures early in the day in the mid and upper 50s. After that, they'll fall throughout the day. And then we are much colder Wednesday evening, but quiet through the weekend, and then feeling much colder by next week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Sometimes I'm right with some of my predictions and comments on sports. Sometimes I'm wrong. And I'm happy to say I was wrong about the Ball brothers. Lonzo, who plays for the Bulls, and LaMelo, who plays for Charlotte. Now, 3 years ago, I said I would have no interest in having either one on my team. Yeah, they were dazzling passers and scorers in their youth, but neither one showed any interest in playing defense. Neither one could shoot from the outside. And I thought their father was going to be a cancer who would spoil them and hold them back. Instead, both of these young men have stepped up. They've turned their weaknesses into strengths. Lonzo has turned into a great defensive player with the Bulls and a fantastic three-point shooter. He's making more than 44% of his shots from behind the arc. LaMelo here is shooting 39% from deep. He's become a triple threat in Charlotte. And both of them have seemed to have stepped out of their father's shadow to become their own men. Again, I credit both these guys for working on their weaknesses and improving. Now I'd be happy to have either one of them on my team. I know the Bulls are thrilled with Lonzo. And this is awards week in Major League Baseball. Tonight, the top managers in each league are being named. Tony La Russa was not named one of the 3 finalists in the American League. La Russa certainly made some questionable decisions this past season, but the way he held the Sox together through a rash of key injuries was pretty impressive. And if Carlos Rodon had held up physically through the entire season and playoffs, the postseason might have turned out quite differently for the Sox. But the guy picked to be the American League Manager of the Year is the Rays' Kevin Cash. His team won 100 games in the toughest division in the American League. And as usual, the Rays were a bunch of young guys barely wet behind the ears. When you take a team with a minuscule payroll and very little experience and win 100 games, you've done something. The entire front office for Tampa should be rewarded. In the National League, Milwaukee's Craig Counsell is one of 3 finalists for that award. He did a good job, but not as good as this guy, Gabe Kapler. He led the Giants to 107 wins. Everyone thought the Giants would be respectable, but not great. Beating out the Dodgers for the division championship was quite the feat. Former Cardinals manager Mike Shildt is the other finalist in the National League, along with Counsell and Kapler.
Marcus shares his 7-day forecast with us one more time in just a minute.
But first, here's a look at what's to come on News Nation tonight.
President Biden takes a victory lap on his infrastructure plan, but why isn't there any money to fix the border crisis? Plus, a pro basketball player takes a tough stance on China. Why isn't the president doing the same? That's On Balance. Now here's a look at Dan Abrams Live.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. As the jury deliberates the fate of Kyle Rittenhouse, some in the media who are supposed to be legal analysts have crossed the line into legal advocates. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's all coming up tonight on the fastest growing cable news network in America, News Nation, available on the cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com.
And as we talk about your forecast, we'll start out with the First Warn Interactive Radar brought to you by Rockford Auto Glass and more. Things are quiet on the radar now, but we are looking at rain showers developing after midnight as temperatures actually rise. So we're looking at overnight temperatures at least near 55 degrees, maybe even a few degrees higher. But as we leave you with a look at the 7-day forecast, we do want to point out while we will have a warm start to Wednesday, we cool off, and then we're pretty chilly for the rest of the week and even into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Marcus.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.